My understanding is that this is not a national park. It's actually operated by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And its main purpose is really not necessarily for visitors to come and see, but it's there to serve as a major center for botanical research.
That's correct. The vast majority of people, especially people who live nearby, think of it as a park, and it looks like a park, but is actually established as a botanical research center in 1927. But it's 446 acres. And people might ask what an arboretum is, but I like to describe an arboretum as like a museum of trees. So there are all different types of species of trees and gardens there on the grounds. There are also some interesting features, not really related to trees, but definitely those are worth checking out. The most notable feature is actually a set of columns from the Capitol. So the U.S. Capitol was built over time. If you look at early pictures, it was actually a lot smaller. Eventually the big, massive dome was only built in the 1860s. But however, in the 1950s, there was a renovation of the east portico of the Capitol because after adding the dome in the 1860s, they realized it looked a little bit imbalanced and weird. And then in the 1850s, they decided to make it look a little bit larger in the center and the east side. That required taking down some of the original columns and stonework from the east portico. Those columns were then moved and installed in the 1980s at the Arboretum. And it's great. They sit on the top of a hill in a big meadow. Great place for photographs. It looks like columns that aren't even holding up a roof. You can go up and look at the Capitol columns pretty closely and take photos. However, there's a column capital. A capital is the decorative part at the top of a column you can actually walk up and see. So what you can't see at the Capitol close-up, you can actually see there. And it's very ornately carved from aqueous sandstone. It's a Corinthian column capital with an acanthus leaf. That's just west of the site on Eagle Nest Road. And when you go to the Arboretum, these things are actually signposted, like the Capitol columns, so they're not that hard to find.
Hey, thanks for listening to this podcast highlight. This is just a small piece of the entire episode, so if you want to hear the whole thing, you can search for Trip Hacks DC in your favorite podcast app, or head on over to triphacksdc.com/podcast. If you like getting these clips, make sure to subscribe to this channel by clicking or tapping on the Trip Hacks DC logo, which is popping up right now at the bottom of the screen. If you want to watch another clip, go ahead and click or tap up here. Or for Washington, D.C. tips and hacks videos from the main channel, go ahead and click or tap right down here. Enjoy your trip!